All right, we're here. First episode of That's Deep with me, Tommy Z, Johnny Bravo. We're going to be breaking down the fights going forward every week. And it's our first episode, so we'll kind of play it by ear. But I think we'll just go from the first fight and make our way to the main event and, see what we get. Johnny, how you doing?
Doing good. Episode 1, we're here.
Yes,
Kind of a
sir.
short week. We're going to do the podcast usually on Thursdays, so had to cram in tape. Had a
Yep.
day short, so we're here to rock and roll. UFC 298 pay-per-view. You know what that means? We will be indulging in some liquids this weekend, and let's have some fun.
We'll have some fun. First fight on the card, Andrea Lee, Miranda Maverick. What do you got?
First fight had to be a women's MMA fight, huh?
Yeah. I have to
Low
say,
level.
though, this year I've actually had luck with the women's MMA. I think I've gotten
Yeah,
everyone right. So
yeah.
hopefully
This
that
is
will.
I don't know. It's a tale of two. I mean, I think both girls have pretty bad takedown defense. Um, Maverick, the younger fighter. Lee, probably the better striker, more experience. But I think Maverick has just way more upside in the grappling department. I think it could get greasy though. I would not rule out a split decision here. This is what
Yeah.
we usually used to always bet, and I could see it going either way. I don't have a confident take on either side, but I would probably lean Maverick decision, and then I think we could probably bet the split. I think that would be a good look.
Yeah, I definitely think the split is live. It's live in pretty much every Andrea Lee fight. I'm going to roll
Yeah,
with Lee in this one. I do think she does have the better striking. She can wrestle. I know Maverick has the better upside wrestling, but yeah, I think it could kind of cancel each other out. And if it stays on the feet, I think Lee's going to pick her apart a little bit. So, rolling with the dog to start the card, I'm cool with that.
yeah, I don't mind it. I don't
Yeah.
have a confident take
I
here.
mean, it's not confident at all, but I think I'd rather be on the dog in this fight.
Yeah, I feel you.
Our next fight, another one that not a lot of confidence in, but I got Oban Elliott taking on Val Woodburn. We remember Val he was the guy that was supposed to test Bo Nickal's chin, and that didn't work out so well. But where do you land on that fight?
Actually, I watched a lot of tape on this fight last night because I had to get a better feel of Woodburn, and he's a short, stocky guy. He has power in his hands. He's gonna want to try to push you up on the cage. Low volume. It's I think his win equity is probably front loaded, whereas Oban Elliott, I kind of like the kid.
Yeah.
He's a good grappler. He's got good cardio. He can go the full 15 minutes, and I wouldn't rule out him getting maybe like a late stoppage or just grinding out a decision. So probably either like a round 3 Elliott or Elliott decision.
Yeah, I'm on Elliott. I think he wins. Basically, just avoid that big power early, and then
Yeah,
just make it a cardio fight. And
because from what I've seen, it's kind of Woodburn after round 1, he kind of tends to gas a little bit,
yeah,
or I don't know, it might be bad optics just by how he looks, but he looks like he gets tired after
the
round
other
1.
thing to consider is this is a welterweight fight. He's fought at 85. He's jacked to the gills, so the weight cut.
Hasn't he fought at like light heavyweight before? I think.
Yeah, he's fought all the way up at light heavy. So I don't know. I mean, the
Yeah.
weight cut could be ugly. I think after the first round, it's pretty much Elliott. I think he probably finds a finish, but
Yeah.
I think Elliott gets the job done for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Elliott.
All right, so we're moving along here. Another welterweight battle. We got Josh Quinlan taking on Danny Barlow. Barlow making his debut. What do you got for this one?
Man, I got to say, I'm pretty high on this Danny Barlow kid, man. His striking is he's long and rangy. It's got good speed, good striking, good cardio. We seen him in the Contender Series fight. He pretty much just if he hits you with that left hand, it's pretty much good night.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm high on Barlow. I'm going to be on Barlow KO. That's a pretty confident bet of mine.
Yeah, I'm pretty high on Barlow as well.
Yeah.
And like Quinlan in his last fight, he fought basically a very similar guy, a guy that's long, rangy, and he couldn't get in, and he just got picked apart for 3 rounds. So
yeah, and he's low volume and he's slow, and I just think, I think Barlow for me, hands down. Love Barlow.
I actually was expecting him to be a bigger favorite than what he is. I mean, I know he's a decent sized favorite, but I think him by KO is definitely a solid play. But just overall, I think he's a good play.
Yeah, I love Barlow here.
So I guess we're cruising right through here, but
well, do you have any DraftKings in these first couple of fights that you like?
So actually,
at the end we could just give your
I feel like Andrea Lee I actually do like for DraftKings, just as a dog in a fight that I think is going to go all 3 rounds, and it's probably going to be grappling. I do like Andrea Lee as a DraftKings play, even if you don't think she's going to win, just as a flyer type play. I would consider Barlow as well, just because I do think there's finish equity there,
especially the round 1 upside too. If you can clip them in round 1,
yeah, absolutely. So there's some DraftKings value definitely on this entire prelim card. But I definitely like Lee just because I think they're going to be grappling. So you're probably going to get takedowns with both of them. They're both probably going to land a couple takedowns. And then you can get some reversals. So I think I'll be playing Lee in my single entry. And I haven't really looked to see what kind of build I would have, just because, like you said,
she's going to be priced lower, right? Her pricing is going to be good. So
her price is going to be solid. But like you said, we kind of had to hurry the film with this card. So I haven't thought too deeply into the DraftKings thing, but definitely Andrea Lee, somebody I'm thinking about playing.
Yeah.
And then the next fight we have is a light heavyweight fight. And again, you have 2 guys, basically both guys making their debut. Mingyang Zhang, he has fought on UFC cards because he was on the road to UFC. And then Bredesen Ribeiro coming off the Contender Series. Both guys like to crack. They both have holes. They both have been knocked out. I think Zhang's been knocked out twice. Ribeiro's been knocked out twice. Zhang earlier in his career. But what do you got here?
Yeah, this is going to be a fucking car crash, man. This is going to be one guy's going down in round 1. It's who do you want to lay your car? And I would have to lean with Ribeiro, round 1 KO. These guys, I mean, if you watch the tape on these guys, none of their fights go like over 2 minutes. It's
right.
like a fucking car.
It's just rocking.
It's a car crash. It's just fucking, it's crazy. It's crazy to watch. And I don't know if you've watched the competition that this guy Mingyang Zhang has fought. He's fighting dudes that in the Chinese regional scene that are just, I mean, if we train 2 weeks, we could probably take them out. I mean, they're
well, I don't know about
brutal.
That, no, brutal. I hear you. I think they both have massive holes. And they both can get hit too. That's the thing. So I really do think it's who can land. And I'm leaning Zhang just because in his last fight he took some massive shots and just kept moving forward, kind of like Terminator style. But again, you're looking at the competition, like Ribeiro, the last guy he fought, was 11-0. It looked like an absolute killer. Was supposed to kill Ribeiro.
Yeah, and, Ribeiro's been fighting in the Russian regional scene and fighting guys in Brazil. Way better competition here. Mingyang Zhang got knocked out by that guy. I don't know if you remember, Askar Mazarov. Like the dude, the UFC signed him for 2 days. Found out his fucking total record was a fucking fake sham, and they fucking cut him. He got knocked out by that guy with like 1 punch. Like,
Yeah, no, I know, and that's the thing, man. It's like,
it's a car crash for me.
yeah,
Under 1.5 is a good parlay piece, I think, and it's like minus 300.
yeah,
So
I love the
you
under
could
1.5.
you
You really
parlay
don't
it
have
with
to. Yeah, you don't have to bet aside here.
yeah, you could
Um,
do that. So
yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
car
I'm
crash,
leaning
fun fight.
Zhang, but again, like either guy, if you're picking a guy to win, you pick him to win by KO, and that's basically all you can do. Because I mean, it's really
Flip a
two guys
coin,
just
pretty
going by.
much.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Ribeiro, tougher competition. He can get kind of wild, but you know, he has beaten some better competition, so I don't hate the play there.
Under 1.5 parlay piece.
Under 1.5 is probably the way to go for sure.
Yeah.
And then we go from that to just a sloppy heavyweight slugfest again.
Hold on, is it the next one?
Oh no,
Nakamura.
you know what? I was out of order. On my sheet. We got Rinya Nakamura taking on Carlos Vera. This is kind of a. I mean, I saw the last odds I saw were minus 1,300 on Nakamura. So I mean, I'm on Nakamura here. I think he wins. I think he probably finishes. I don't know if you have any other take on that. But.
Carlos Vera. I don't know how he got here. He was in the tough house. He got fucking Brad Katona pretty much beat him, destroyed him. Yeah, this is Nakamura by bludgeoning. Just I think it's however he wants it, pretty
Yeah,
much.
it's a matter of how quickly.
But maybe Vera could survive in the grappling, maybe because
He has good grappling. I mean, that's where he finishes.
yeah,
Most
maybe he could
fights.
survive on the ground, and because Nakamura didn't get the last guy he fought out there. The name's blanking my head. Fernie Garcia, who just got finished.
Yeah.
He was able to survive like 3 rounds. So I don't know. I think Nakamura definitely wins. It's just if he finishes or when he finishes.
Yeah, it's tough to bet just because the minus.
Yeah, it's everything's gonna be so juiced. Like the sub's gonna be juiced, the money line's juiced, probably under 1.5's juiced. So unless you take a flyer on the knockout, I think you probably get a good price on that.
Which I mean, he definitely has the knockout capability,
ground and pound, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
not much to really say about this one.
I broke it down like I do my regular breakdown. I watch the film and then I'm like, yeah, I'm on Nakamura, and then I look at the odds and I was like, okay, yeah, this is just out of control. Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe there's probably a way to throw him in something, but I'd probably just avoid this fight altogether.
Yeah, the numbers are just way too juiced, and
it's just stupid.
Yeah. It's the pass.
You know, unless you want to just throw a flyer on Vera and say, hey, fuck it. You know, maybe find something.
Yeah, or the over 1.5 or something. Maybe.
Yeah, the over 1.5 could be worth a play.
Hope he survives, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, it's just it's a tough look. Guy's mid-30s making his UFC debut.
I didn't understand why he was even in that tough house. I mean, half of the guys in the tough house, I didn't understand why they were there.
Yeah, the Ultimate Fighter is just, it is what it is.
It's a joke now.
Yeah. So the fight that I was originally talking about was the heavyweight fight, which is also another somewhat of a shit show. But we got Tafa taking on DeLima. Tafa big power, DeLima a little bit more technical. Where do you ride on that one?
Oh, this is a tough one for me. These are two guys that I look to fade, really. I mean, I think Tafa is. I mean, Tafa. He's got good boxing, good striking, good power. He can knock you out with one punch. Yeah. But other than that, I think he's just not like he's not well rounded. We don't know how he's going to be if he's on his back. That's my thing. But DeLima cardio shit.
Right.
Fucking Derek Lewis fucking starched him with the flying knee. Um, I don't know.
So
Probably violence.
I originally was thinking possibly just going with Tafa, just because he's the
Tafa
ball.
KO, yeah. But
Yeah.
then if DeLima can, if DeLima does have a grappling
So
advantage here.
DeLima has the grappling, which we don't really know. I mean, nobody's really tried to take Tafa down, so we don't really know what he's going to do in that situation.
Yeah,
But also DeLima's leg kicks are pretty nasty as well. And if they're just standing and trading, I could see him landing some nice leg kicks. So I like DeLima to win this fight, but again, it's just such a slop fest that I mean Tafa could be there in the end with DeLima slowing down. I don't know, man. I think DeLima wins the fight. I think he's more technical. The leg kicks could come into play. I know Tafa is a big tough Samoan, so who knows if it even affects him. But I think DeLima gets the job done, and I just think Tafa's he's knockout or bust at this point.
yeah. I'm gonna lean Tafa knockout here.
All right, so
Maybe I'll get to something later. Yeah.
yeah, so we'll disagree on this one slightly, but again, it's just yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
So we move on. So here's a fun fight, I guess. Women's strawweight, we've got Amanda Lemos taking on Mackenzie Dern. I think this one will be fun for sure. I'm curious to see where you land on this one. But what?
Yeah, I kind of like this fight. I'm kind of looking forward to this fight. I'm a big Mackenzie Dern fan. Even though I did fade her in her last fight against Andrade, I did fade her.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Angela Hill fight, she looked like, I mean,
Right.
she looked like she could be a title contender. I mean, she was getting takedowns, she was piecing her up on the feet, and nobody does that to Angela Hill. I mean, Angela Hill, she pretty much won every round. I mean,
yeah, that was dominant.
But then she comes in, everybody's high on her from that fight. She comes into the Andrade fight and just gets starched, you know.
Yeah.
And we've seen Lemos. Lemos is, her last fight. We've seen her just get like totally dominated by the champion. But there's no fault in that.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think if Dern can survive out of round one, she could push the pace, push her up on the cage, maybe get a trip, get a takedown. I think if she gets it down to the ground one time, I think it's curtain calls. I think it's pretty much over because Lemos' submission defense is not very good.
Yeah.
Andrade standing fucking triangle there or arm,
I'm triangled, yeah.
Yeah.
So my thought is, so generally speaking, I don't pick a fighter to win that's been knocked out or dropped 4 times in the last 2 fights. She was dropped 4 times in her last fight against Andrade. So I don't like Mackenzie Dern because I'm afraid if she gets hit hard, she might go down again. But I do like the fact that Lemos is kind of sloppy. So even though Dern doesn't have great takedowns, she could end up finding a takedown.
She could even pull guard, I think.
Like there's going to be opportunities for her to get to the ground. Just because,
but also, yeah,
just because Lemos is a bit sloppy, but Lemos, knowing that, I mean, obviously she doesn't want to go to the ground, so I don't think she's going to be super crazy going in because she knows she's probably the better striker. But Dern, her striking isn't terrible. Her only problem is her striking defense is not great, and that's what killed her in the.
And she's not a very good. She's not very good at securing takedowns.
Right.
Yeah, Lemos, great striking, great power, finisher. I'm going to lean Dern here. I'm probably going to be on Dern. Probably Dern sub.
Yeah,
it's like plus 200 or something.
I feel like Dern is similar to, now I can't think of his name, Vieira last week, where if the fight gets to the ground, he was going to win
Yeah.
by submission. I think Dern is kind of in the same boat. I don't think he's exactly the same, but definitely she's live. And as an underdog, again, in a close fight, I don't hate it. I don't hate Dern here. So wouldn't be a bad DraftKings play either.
No, with
Obviously,
the submission
we don't
upside,
want
if she
to
gets her down when if she gets her
there's-
down when she's dry and then fucking, grabs
absolutely.
an arm, grabs
There's
a neck.
definitely value there. And we know Lemos
Yeah.
can be beat on the ground.
Yeah. I mean, Wei Li just,
that was
pummeled
just
her.
domination.
Yeah.
So Mackenzie Dern at her best is she can win this fight for sure.
She's also taking the fight on short notice. I think but she's had a little over a month to prepare. So I don't really.
I'll be interested to see what the weigh-ins look like, how they look. I'm leaning Dern, but I'm not officially there yet.
Yeah,
but I do think there's value there for sure.
Yeah.
So our next fight is in the middleweight division. We've got Anthony Hernandez taking on Roman Kopylov. I'm a big Fluffy fan. I like Hernandez. I love the fact that he just grapples nonstop. And I think that's enough to beat Kopylov. But curious what you think about this one.
Yeah, Fluffy, man, is huge grappling advantage here. Huge cardio advantage here. Now, I have been backing Kopylov on this win streak pretty much in every single fight, and he's paid me out. I think besides if it gets, I think Kopilov's win condition is probably around 1 KO, and I think Fluffy can take him down, wear him down, probably sub him later on in the fight. Yeah, I'm pretty confident in Fluffy here. I love Fluffy in this spot.
I'm in the same boat. DraftKings wise, I'll probably have him in my lineup. I mean, this dude he's landed like 20 something takedowns in the last 3 fights. He's going to grapple. There's no doubt about it. He's going to grapple. And striker versus grappler, I'll take the grappler pretty much.
Yeah, he's a cardio machine, and I don't think he's out. Like, I think he's got decent striking. I don't think it's
his striking's not bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
So he's not like a one-dimensional fighter,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I love Fluffy in this spot.
Yeah, I'm a big Fluffy guy here.
Yeah.
All right, so if you're playing DraftKings, that's definitely the way to go. I'll be on him in DraftKings for sure. So these next the main card is actually pretty fun in this.
Yeah, the main card is awesome. The prelims are whatever's. This main card is stacked.
This is definitely number one. It's a 12-fight card, which is much better than what we had last week with 14 fights and mostly all fadeable fighters. So this, I do think this card's going to be fun. And this fight in particular, Merab versus Cejudo, I was very close to going with Cejudo here, but I think I'm leaning Merab. What do you got going on in this one?
Yeah, after watching some of the tape, I don't know. I watched the Aljo fight with Henry twice, and I mean, Henry's anti-grappling was pretty good, man. He when Aljo shot, he threw knees, and then he got that little front head choke, and he kind of got out of it. But it's just Henry just didn't throw enough volume. Like that's why he didn't let his hands go, and Aljo was putting the pace on him, throwing the volume. Yeah, and then Merab. What can you say about Merab? Merab is just a fucking cardio beast, man. I mean, he's gonna push. Yeah. He's gonna go for takedowns. He's gonna, But the concerning thing about Merab for me was that Aldo fight. The volume was there. He threw like 150 strikes or whatever. Right. But he went 0 for 16 on takedowns.
Yeah.
that's worrisome to me. Because Henry's Olympic wrestler. Like, if Henry could keep it on the feet, I think Henry's live. Definitely think Henry's live if he could keep it on the feet.
Yeah, that's where I was a little bit. I was back and forth. Now, Aldo has great takedown defense. The thing that I do like, the fact that it's a 3-round fight, is that Merab does push the pace, and even if he's failing on takedowns, he's going for it, and he's going forward, and he's landing strikes. And I'm not 100% sold on Henry's desire to be there. I don't
like we've heard him talk a lot in these interviews during the week about how, if I don't get this, if I don't win this one, then I'm done, and all this. But he's already retired, so it's like,
it's tough. Like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like,
and then the whole thing with Cejudo firing his coach, like on Countdown.
I still don't know what to take of that.
And then and then Merab doing the videos. Oh, my new coach.
Yeah, I feel like.
But then he said Captain Cringe is back on Twitter, and like.
So
like,
I feel like
I don't know, man.
It's all a work. I feel like it's all a work with him. I don't know. I don't really know what to take of it, but I do think it's all a work. Obviously, he's still working with Captain Eric and the whole team over there. But I don't know, man. Like, I like Merab just because I do think he's going to nonstop shoot for takedowns. He can get them for sure, but Henry is an Olympic champion as well. So but
Henry could go for takedowns himself, and if he has success there, if he can, he can bank around, get a takedown, bank around, and then it makes things real interesting.
Yeah. And it's not like Henry's striking is bad. I mean, the dude can.
No, Henry's definitely the better striker than Merab, I think. Yeah. Definitely.
The thing is, I mean, I don't know, man. Merab.
It's a 3-round fight, and the volume isn't there for me for Henry. Pretty much.
That's the problem. Is the pace with Merab is nonstop, and that's why I like Merab. That's
Merab decision.
I like Merab to win. And it's not like his wrestling. I mean, his wrestling is legit too. So.
Merab is a beast. If he gets you down, I mean.
Yeah.
It's going to be over and over and over again. Repeat, rinse and repeat.
The thing, too, about Merab is, like, he can fail over and over and over again. But he's
going to keep coming.
Yeah. So that's why I did go with Merab in this play. But I do think it's a fun fight. I think it's an interesting fight.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Merab decision. I like that. So it's like minus 125 or something.
So no, that's definitely a solid play there.
The Merab probably a good DraftKings play too, right?
Yeah. Honestly, both of them will be interesting because I mean Henry being the underdog, if his wrestling, if he does land some takedowns, he could be worth a play as well. If you're playing multi-entry,
sprinkle a little Henry in.
Yeah, you're definitely going to want to throw some Henry in there as well. But yeah, Merab, my official pick. I think he wins, and I just think the pace is what gets it done.
Yeah, Merab decision for me.
All right, so we'll move on. Our welterweight fight, Jeff Neal and Ian Gary. I've always been a pretty big Ian Gary guy. This is Jeff Neal's no joke. He's not easy to get out of there. But I'm leaning Ian Gary. Where are you on this one?
I don't know. It's tough for me. I'm not a big Ian Gary guy. I don't know. That's all the bullshit that he's got going on. It's kind of just cringe to me. And then
right.
Yeah. So I liked him as a prospect, but the more he grew on to me, it's like, I don't really like you. I just kind of want him to just get starched. Yeah, but I mean, I like Jeff Neal here. I mean, the Shavkat fight. I mean, he held his Shavkat's a fucking beast. Let's
Yeah.
but he did kind of hold his ground, like in the
Yeah.
striking department with Shavkat, and he hit Shavkat with some pretty decent power shots, and we've seen Gary get clipped by Song Kanan, and
Yep.
we've seen him get hit, seen him get dropped, seen him get hurt. Jordan Williams hurt him in the first round of their fight.
Right.
Kanan dropped him in the first round.
It's tough.
It's tough.
Well, when you talk about the Shavkat fight, when I watched the Shavkat fight, I remember thinking this is a legit UFC guy taking on a prospect, and the prospect was winning, and Shavkat was winning that fight and dominating, but Neal showed how tough it is to get through guys like him in the UFC. So this is a very, and this is almost like our main event from last week with Joe Pyfer and Gerald Meerschaert. And
but I think Gary's cardio is a little bit more proven than Pyfer, because we had never really seen Pyfer extended. So I think we've seen Gary go 3 rounds in the fucking Neil Magny. I don't know how he didn't finish Neil Magny. He had Neil Magny on one leg.
Yeah, that almost felt like he was trying to toy with him a little bit. But yeah, I mean, we know Ian Gary's cardio is legit for sure. He can go 3 rounds, no problem. So my official pick in this fight is Ian Gary. I think he wins, but I do think it's a tough out for sure.
And Jeff Neal freaking beat down Vicente. When have we ever seen Vicente Luque get beat down like that? I mean, he fucking battered.
The only thing I will say though is with Jeff Neal, he has been picked apart by some just straightforward strikers like Wonder Boy. Neil Magny kind of picked him apart a little bit. So it's kind of tough.
Yeah, and then there's that added motivation too, where they were supposed to fight before, and Gary had the mugshot on the shirt, and so Jeff Neal's going to come in here with a little chip on his shoulder.
I think it's going to. I think it's going to be.
I'm really looking forward to this fight.
This is one where I don't hate the Jeff Neal plus 3.5. I think Ian Gary gets the job done, but I think Jeff Neal
is live. I think Neal's live. But I think the KO number is not like much better than the money line.
Right.
So I'm going to lean Gary winning a decision, but I don't know. I got to sit on it a few more days to decide where my money goes.
I hear you. It's a tough one, but I do think Ian Gary is the type of guy that he gets better as time goes on. Like every fight, he's progressively getting better. So,
and two, Luque and Shavkat were former teammates of Ian Gary, so
that's true too.
Similar,
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a fun fight. I'm looking forward to it. My official pick is Ian Gary. I think he wins. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean Gary decision.
See how weigh-ins play out, see how everything plays out, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So our next fight is in the middleweight division. We have Robert Whittaker taking on Paulo Costa. Costa always a I don't even know what to think about this guy. He's a tough out for anybody, but you never know. I mean, he's had weight issues. He's had, he pulls out of fights, but he's a beast. The dude's an absolute animal. So where are you on this fight?
Um, Costa, it's a big question mark. We don't know where he's at. We don't know if he's going to make weight. But the videos and the pictures I've seen, he looks in fucking hella shape. He's built like a fucking tank.
Yeah.
And we don't really know how Rob is going to come off that Strikers knockout. We don't,
Right.
and I mean, at the end of round one, to me, it looked like he was looking for a way out, Whitaker. I don't know. After Dreykus got that takedown and landed those big elbows and sliced him up, it didn't look like, I don't know. From the beginning, it didn't look like Whitaker really wanted to be there.
It was weird because Whitaker
he
looked
did
good to start, and then all of a sudden it was like he wanted no part of the fight.
Yeah, it was definitely a weird fight. Man, I really don't know what to think of Robert Whitaker right now.
That's where I'm at, dude.
But then Paulo Costa, that Luke Rockhold fighting the guy with the worst chin, probably one of the worst chins to ever do it. He couldn't get him out of there.
Yeah, exactly.
It was at altitude though in Utah, right? But still, I mean, it's Luke Rockhold. I mean, come on,
right? But then that's the problem because the fight before that he fought Vettori, and it was supposed to be at 85, and then they fought at 205. But
yeah, but he looked good in that fight to me
exactly
for what it was worth. Yeah.
So
and then the Yoel Romero fight, he looked fucking sharp. It's like
so. My thing is this. And
we're gonna throw the Izzy fight. Throw the Izzy fight with Paulo out of the drinking wine up all night. Fucking.
So my thing with Costa and this, I lean Costa slightly in this fight, and I want to see weigh-ins, and we'll see what happens come Friday. But he's always in the fight. He's tough. He throws big.
Yeah, he's hard to finish. Hard to get out of there.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't hate Paulo Costa play here. I hate ever being on Costa for all the reasons we've stated. But if he shows up and he's on weight and he looks good, I feel like he's live in this fight as an underdog.
Yeah, it could definitely be like. I mean, these guys kind of have similar styles too.
Right.
If you look at it, so it's going to be a striking battle. But I think Whitaker could mix in some takedowns.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't even think Costa's takedown defense is all that bad, and his grappling's not really.
No. That's a tough one. Initial thought before the tape was like, oh, Robert Whitaker. But then watching back the tape,
that's me too. I was on Whitaker as well, but I don't know, man. I feel like it's funny too because I said this was a couple of years ago, but I said I don't think Paulo Costa is ever going to win another fight in the UFC. And then he fought Luke Rockhold, and I was like, all right, well, he's going to beat Luke Rockhold. Yeah. And now I'm like, yeah.
And he was supposed to fight Hamzat too.
Yeah.
And then he got the staph infection, and
right. So I'm like, I don't know what to think of this guy. I know he's a beast.
Yeah, he's built like a tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my official pick, as you're watching this now, my official pick is Paulo Costa. I do think he can get the job done. Could be a decision, could be a split, but I do think he can get the job done.
Yeah, I'm going to lean Whitaker decision right now.
All right. Actually, I wanted to write down where we agreed and disagreed, but
well, we can always go back and look.
Yeah, we're rolling.
We'll have our final thoughts on Saturday. We'll have our card, our bets, and everything put in.
Sure.
Still Wednesday.
So, so I mean, I guess that brings us to our main event. We got
here we go.
Volk versus Topuria. This is a fun one, man. Topuria. He's got his Instagram or his I think it's his Instagram. Says he's the champ. He's 15-0. This, that, the other.
He's already making a documentary about Road to the Championship. Today, he's taking pictures with the belt at media day. This is a Volk spot for me. I love Volk here. I think it's going to be added motivation here. Like this guy's talking, everybody thinks he's done after the Islam KO, but he took the fight against Islam on 11 days notice. He was coming off surgery, drinking every day, coming off surgery. Of course, if you're having surgery and you can't do much, why not have a couple beers? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I love Volk here. I think Volk's he's gonna utilize those leg kicks. He's gonna fucking push him up on the cage. He's gonna get takedowns. But Topuria he's good, man. Topuria is good.
Topuria is good.
I just think Volk is just another level, man.
Yeah, I think he's definitely the best guy that he's fought. Maybe outside of Max. I mean, we don't know. I don't know where Topuria ranks against Max. But yeah, I just think Volk is just on another level. And I'm not holding that against him, the short notice against Islam. Like that, I just can't. He's had plenty of time to recover as well. It's not like this was 2 months ago.
Yeah, it was like 4 months ago, right?
Yeah. So, and it's not like it's not like he got knocked out. He didn't just get knocked out cold. He got rocked really bad. He got finished, and he was good. 30 seconds later. So I like Volk. I've always been a Volk guy. I think you're never gonna get better value on him.
Yeah, you're gonna get the probably the greatest featherweight at like -110. Pick him. Like, it's a no-brainer for me. I mean, and I think Volk's gonna be able to take him down, even though Topuria does have good takedown defense. But Bryce Mitchell did take him down in that first round pretty
And
easily.
The other thing I have to say is I think Topuria is a bit hittable. Like Bryce Mitchell hit him. It was like 35 to 40 total strikes.
Jai Herbert had this dude on fucking skates.
Yeah, Jai Herbert had him nearly out. I mean, you get another ref in there and potentially they would have stopped it.
Yeah.
So he is hittable for sure. And Volk, high fight IQ. The guy, he's been in there with the best of the best. I think Volk gets it done. I think this is a good spot. This is a good buy low spot on Volk.
Yep, everybody down on Volk, saying he's done, saying his chin's gone, everything. Topuria is a great prospect, and maybe in the future, Topuria is already saying, "Oh, Conor McGregor in Spain and all this." Like he's already making plans, and I mean, come on, dude.
Sense.
Yeah,
makes no sense. But yeah, I think this is a great buy low spot on Volk. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Volk is as good as it gets. I really do think he's the best featherweight we've ever seen. And I think he gets it done here for sure.
Yep, love Volk here. I think he's going to be able to. I think it's going, like he said, he can go in there and make this look easy. I mean, takedowns, great ground and pound. Volk has, his ground and pound is another level, man.
Yeah, we don't really see that very often, but he definitely has.
Well, I don't know. Yair, he pretty much took Yair down at will.
Yeah,
smashed him on the ground.
But that was one of the few fights where we've seen it recently.
Yeah,
I mean, because
Ortega. He took Ortega down.
Well, that's true. Ortega had him in a couple of tough submissions, but after he got out of the submissions, he piss-pounded Ortega as well. Like, you could argue that fight should have been stopped.
Korean Zombie, too.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. I think Volk has it all. To me, he's the best featherweight we've seen.
Yeah, I could see Volk getting like a late stoppage here. I could see this fight being similar to like the Yair fight where
Yeah. And again, like Volk coming off of a knockout loss, you're going to get the best Volk.
Oh, he's motivated. He's going to be motivated. He's ready to go.
Super motivated.
Yeah. So if Volk never takes the Islam fight, what is this line? Volk like -220?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Minus 220, like
yeah, absolutely.
minus 300. You know.
Yeah. I think we're looking at great value here.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Well, we're in agreement there. We had a few fights where we might have disagreed, but nothing crazy. But go ahead, follow Nuke the House on X. Join the Patreon. We will
Join the Discord. It's free.
We'll be
Get in
live
the
Saturday
Discord.
night. Yeah, Discord's free. We'll be live Saturday night. Live tomorrow too, I think, for the NASCAR.
Yeah, we'll be live. I think it's a Patreon show for
Yeah.
the duels, Gatorade duels. Friday, I think, is a public show for trucks.
Yeah.
And then pay-per-view will be Patreon. And yeah, I think Sunday will be public too for Daytona 500. Weather permitting, because I think there's going to be rain scheduled, but who knows? It's Florida, so
it's NASCAR, so there's always rain. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, so we'll be back. Man. We'll be back next Thursday. We'll be back Thursday next
Thursday
week.
night. Yeah, Thursdays are going to be our days.
UFC Mexico, Moreno versus Royval, Yair versus Ortega. Yeah, we'll be back next week. Break it down.
All right. For Johnny.
All righty then.
And Tommy Z. We're out.
See you guys this weekend. Later.